And I know the listeners, whenever I have a person who's gone through Buds, always like to hear, as you went through, what was the biggest lesson that Buds taught you that's carried forward in your throughout your career?
So that's really good point. My first book, let me point to it right here, which is 6 Days of Impossible Navy SEAL Hell Week, has the subtitle, A Doctor Looks Back. Because 35 years after we went through training, 11 out of 70 of us that made it through freezing cold, soaking wet winter training, shivering uncontrollably without sleep for 7 days, we'd get together and look at each other and go, why the 11 of us? Why did the other 60 not make it? We're all equally qualified when we started physically and mentally, but 60 people quit. And when I went back and interviewed my classmates, what I did discover is that we all shared a common attribute or lesson that life had taught us. It had not, we didn't learn this in SEAL training, I discovered after the fact. We had learned it through life, and that is, if you have been pushed and tested by either life or life's environments or physical challenges, sports challenges, that those tests, those stresses tended to give you a tool for future endurance and future success. And this applies to athletics. Knowing we were going to have this talk and thinking about performance, I wanted to point out that, when you look at endurance athletes, when you look at the people that are running the marathons in incredible times, running 4.5-minute miles for 26 miles, that's almost unimaginable to somebody that's ever tried to run a 5-minute mile. But yes, they're older. The people who do this and succeed at it are older because they have learned to endure. They have learned to process the pain and put it aside. So the brain, if you let the pain be in the front of your brain, the pain is all the brain's going to see. So in order to survive no sleep, 6 days, freezing cold, shivering uncontrollably, people pushing you beyond your limits, you've got to be able to put aside the pain. And so in answer to your question, the SEAL teams and their design for Hell Week have a very real purpose, and that is to take the individual to the point of no return, mentally, physically, or both. If you got beat up really bad by life before you got there, your maximum is here. If you were the star quarterback and dated the prettiest, cheerleaders, your maximum was down here. And quite honestly, the SEALs have always been disturbed by the fact that the star quarterbacks don't ever seem to make it through SEAL training. Because when it gets really, really hard, their brain lets the pain stay in the front and they go, I got options. I'm out of here. So the lesson that I discovered and that all 11 of us shared with each other after the fact was life had beat us up before we got there.
Hi, I'm John Miles, the host of the Passion Struck podcast, and we have new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And during this entire month of September, we are honoring veterans who served during the 20-year War on Terror. If you haven't checked these episodes out, they include Blackhall Racing Team of Janet and Tony Blackhall, who race in Moto America, NASCAR Xfinity driver Jesse Uwiji, astronaut Captain Wendy Lawrence, who served on multiple space shuttle missions and was the first female Naval Academy graduate to fly in outer space, Navy SEAL Commander Dan O'Shea, who discusses his involvement in Afghanistan, Iraq, and more recently in Operation Pineapple Express, astronaut Kayla Barron, who is preparing for her trip in October to the International Space Station and her journey from there to the moon and beyond, retired Navy SEAL Commander Mark Devine, and retired Navy SEAL William Bram. Some incredible episodes throughout the month of September. And you can always check us out on Instagram at Passion Struck Podcast or our YouTube channel at John R. Miles. Remember, make a choice, work hard, and step into your sharp edges.